All right, so let's look at this as an example. So if you're trying to think about targeting in these terms, all right? So watch what I do here. Everyone can see this. I have a ball here, and I'm just gonna throw the ball up and try to catch it, right? So I'm throwing the ball up and I'm trying to catch it. Okay, how did I do?
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3? Because I caught 2 out of 3? How did I do out there? You guys see that? I'm gonna throw the ball up. What do you think about that? Am I doing okay? What do you have? You did well? Thanks, Adrian. I appreciate it. Okay.
But random.
Yeah, right. But so you're thinking, well, what is he talking about? I must be crazy, and I am, because I only had 2 cups of coffee right now, so I'm behind. But now if I did this, right? And if I did this, and now I did the same exact thing. I'm going to take the ball and I'm going to throw it up against the wall. Now how did I do? I did good. Why? Why would you say that? Why would you say I did good?
Because you have a goal you're trying to.
I have a target, and I hit the target dead on, right? Did everybody see that online? You see the point there? So if you're in marketing and if you're in business and you have no target and all you're doing is taking your product and just throwing it out there like this, you have no idea if you're hitting the target, you have no idea if you're being successful, none of that matters. Now, you may get lucky. Somebody might be walking around and boom, they get hit in the head with the ball or whatever it is. You will get lucky. That's more than likely, because there's so many people in the world. Somebody somewhere will come across your product. That will happen. And then you get all excited, you high five, okay, got my first sale. But that's not the way to do it. The way to do it is to set up your targets, to understand who they are, and then go after them. Customers are not coming to you. You have to go after your customers. They're not going to come to you. I forgot the stat. There's I don't know, 1 million websites going up a day or some crazy number like that. And your competition is doing things that you're not doing. So once you don't do that, you're going to be in bad shape. That's why now with this pandemic, those companies that couldn't move online quickly are in worse trouble than those that did, right? That's the idea. So you have to have a target. You cannot hit something if you don't know what you're trying to hit. So you can't go out there. It's easy to put an ad on Facebook, and what do? You see 317 million people, right? Once you just put in there, you're like, wow, that's great. 317 million people is not your target. If you're selling bathing suits, not your target. If you're selling water for digital marketing, not your target. If you're selling, sandwiches, frozen sandwiches that you could deliver to someone's home, not your targets. You got to figure out who that target is, and they'll go after them. That's where segmentation, targeting, and personas, that's where that all comes into place, okay? All right, let's see what we got on the board. Any questions there? All right, thank you. Okay, so Devon put something in here, USA spending, that's good. That's a good reference in the chat. I appreciate that, Devon, thank you very much. There's several platforms out there that you can use. Okay, so let's cover one more thing, or at least 2 more things. So we talked about content, and we talked about how do we structure content, how do we get the targeting, how do we get the segmentation. So now that we know that, we got the targeting, we have all that. So now the next part of this is, okay, well, we have, if you remember, we had 200,000 people, and now we're going to break those 200,000 people into some personas, right? And maybe let's do 4. Up here, there might be male and female, right? Men and women, and then we're going to break it down into 2 other groups, let's say. Maybe over here we do professional men who are working, and over here we do students. And maybe we do the same for females. So let's say over here is the professional woman and the student. Okay, so now we got the group broken down even further. So now we have 4 personas based on how we drilled it down. Our first persona is a male professional who's working, who wants to learn digital marketing. Our second persona is a male student who's getting into the workforce, who wants to learn about digital marketing. Our third persona is a female student who's getting into the workforce, who wants to learn about digital marketing. And our fourth persona is a professional female who wants to learn more about digital marketing, right? Now, would you agree that those are 4 different types of individuals? Right? There might be some similarities, but basically there's 4 different types of individuals. Okay, so let's stay on the female side here for a moment, because the female population is driving a lot of change right now online and stuff like that. So we're going to build a little profile for her, and we're going to, sort of do a little picture here, right? Whatever, I don't know, that's her hair. She's having a bad hair day, right? So that's sort of a photo for her. We don't know what that's going to look like yet, because we haven't built her persona. So what we want to do is we want to give her a name, and let's call her Frances. So that's sort of her name. And then we want to give, in particular, we want to talk about her, what we call pain points, right? And her pain points are what? Well, she's a professional working woman, but doesn't understand online. And she doesn't think her career will move forward unless she understands digital marketing. Okay, something like that. So you have to understand what her pain points are. What about her likes? Well, she's a family woman. She has 2 kids. She likes having fun with them. And she likes to do yoga, let's say, okay? Now, how are we coming up with this? Well, we're coming up with this because we've done our research, or maybe we've looked at competitive fans and things like that. What else do we want to do? So these are little boxes of information here that we could do. What is her background? Right, let's think about that. Well, she's obviously college educated. She's a professional. She's a family woman, right? And what else can we say there? Really, that's really the background that we want. What does she do? Like, what are her hobbies? Well, her hobbies are vacations and activities with kids, right? Her kids, okay? What is one of her problems? What is one of her challenges? Well, her problem is that she doesn't have enough time and she doesn't have enough money, right? Everybody has that problem. No time and no money, so let's say.